If you look hard enough, you will find backpacking advice on pretty much everything. Now, how much of this advice is actually good? In this video today, we are going to go over 5 of the worst pieces of advice you're going to get when it comes to backpacking. The first one we're going to talk about has to do with backpacking permits. A lot of places in the world, it can be difficult to get permits. I know up here in the Canadian Rockies, if you're looking at doing some backpacking trips in places like Banff or Jasper National Park, it can be really tough to obtain permits for these places. And there seems to be this growing belief amongst people that you just simply don't need to get these permits. It honestly just kind of makes you a bit of a douchebag if you're out there backpacking in areas where permits are required and you're that person showing up and you don't have the permits. It's not like these permits cost a lot of money. You know, up here in the Rockies, you're paying about 10 bucks a night for an overnight backpacking permit, with 10 bucks to spend a night out in some amazingly gorgeous places. To me, that is well worth the price of admission. A lot of these places can get quickly overrun, you know, if it's not limited on the amount of people that can go there. And, you know, we've got some sensitive ecosystems and, you know, some sensitive areas that we got to take into consideration. So if you're hiking in an area where there are permits required, don't be a dick, get your permits. Next on today's list kind of follows the same train of thought, and it's, you know, as you're doing your research on finding trails to go backpack or to go and hike, and that's using an app called AllTrails. The problem with AllTrails is it's all user source information, and there really is no baseline when it comes to the difficulty levels. You know, for instance, I could go on AllTrails and put in some backpacking routes that I have done that I didn't find difficult at all, but somebody getting out on their very first backpacking trip, oh, this guy rated this hike as easy, and all of a sudden you've got, you know, 5 or 6 different stream crossings. Alberta Parks, which is our version of state parks for those of you down in the States, they actually put out a release telling people not to use AllTrails because of the amount of search and rescue callouts that they're having specifically from people using this app. To me, AllTrails is terrible. There's a reason why a lot of us call it All Fails. If there's anything that I haven't covered in this video, and, you know, just terrible advice that you've seen people get when it comes to hiking and backpacking, let me know in the comment section down below. This is a pad strap for a top quilt. Now, I personally don't use pad straps when I take my top quilt to ground. I just find that I'm not really an active sleeper on the ground. I don't really toss and turn too much, and I don't deal with you know, the drafts and cold spots that some people deal with. But if you are an active sleeper, utilizing a pad strap with a top quilt can make a world of difference in eliminating any drafts and cold spots as you're tossing and turning throughout the night. There is a proper way to use the pad straps, and I see a lot of people out there, you know, especially on YouTube, showing the use of pad straps and actually showing an incorrect way of using them. You take the toggles or the attachment points and you have them right on the side of your pad. If you're really trying to seal in the drafts and you're really trying to eliminate any of those cold spots, what you actually want to do is, for your toggles or connection points, is you actually want to suck those in and keep those in closer to your body. And that's going to keep your quilt tucked around you, so when you're rolling around at night, it's going to stop the quilt from lifting up and stop those drafts from coming in. Number 4 covers one of my favorite things when it comes to backpacking, and that is snacks. I'm a big lover of just the different snacks I take out backpacking. You know, I'm a snacky guy. I love my snacks. What can I say? I see so many people giving the advice of bringing a snack with you to bed to get you through the night. Say you wake up in the middle of the night and, you know, you're a little bit hungry, you know, just keeping, say, a Lara bar, or, you know, say a honey stinger or a granola bar or something, you know, in your pocket inside your sleep system. You know, you wake up in the middle of the night, a little bit hungry. Terrible advice. I hike in prime grizzly, black bear, cougar, wolf territory. You know, predatory animals seem to be a big concern when it comes to food storage. But even if you don't hike in an area where, you know, predatory animals are a consideration, mice and little rodents like that will absolutely chew a hole through the side of your tent. They will chew a hole through your sleeping bag. Say you forget a snack in your hip belt pocket, they will chew holes in these things to get at that food. You know, no matter where you hike, you know, taking food into your shelter system is just, it's a terrible idea. Like I said, you may not be in an area where bears are a consideration, but I really don't think anybody wants to wake up with a mouse chewing through their tent and chewing through the bottom of their sleeping bag to, you know, get to that granola bar that they got hiding in their pocket for their 2 a.m. wake up snack. I do the ultralight backpacking thing, so I really don't care about taking this shot, but it kind of seems to be a growing trend amongst ultralight backpackers in an attempt to save just that little tiny fraction more weight out of their backpacking gear loadouts, to take a lighter weight quilt and to supplement by, you know, wearing, say, their hiking clothes and, you know, like a puffy jacket and that kind of thing to bed. Just wearing your hiking clothes inside your sleep system, you know, you're exposing your sleep system, you know, your expensive down quilts and your expensive sleeping pad to all the dirt and grime and chemicals. You know, like say you're spraying DEET on your arms to get rid of mosquitoes, you're exposing your sleep system to all of those disgusting things. And that's gross. It's gonna force you to have to wash your quilts and your sleeping pads and stuff more often. And the more often you wash that stuff, the more wear and tear is gonna be on it. Having a dedicated set of sleeping clothes is really gonna extend the life of your quilts. You know, it's gonna make it so you're not having to wash and clean these things and, you know, expose them to any kind of cleaning chemicals. You get up the next morning, you go to try and, you know, boil up some water and, you know, get some hot coffee to warm yourself up. Now, on top of terrible backpacking tips, there's also a lot of really, really bad backpacking gear out there. And I have previously shot 2 videos. That's right, not 1, 2 videos on backpacking gear I have no interest in, and you'll find those here and here. Now, when you guys are done with this video, check out either one of those or both of them. I'm sure you guys will enjoy. And as always, guys, I'm Matty. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.